I'm going live today, and I'll explain why in just a sec. I'm gonna wait until a few more people come in. Going live here. Just waiting for you guys to file in. I hope I did this correctly. It might take a moment, so we'll just wait. Hi guys, welcome if you're just joining us. This is Ants Canada going live for the first time here in the Ant Room since the creation of these Vivaria. All right, you guys are filing in now. Hi guys, welcome, Ants Canada here. Yes, a live. I wanted to do a live for this particular upload because I wanted to address several things. I know there is a group of AC family here who aren't exactly happy with several issues. There's some rumors going around, and I just wanted to clear it all up live. Nip it in the bud right away. Hi guys, welcome. And plus, I have not done a live like this for so long. So you guys can flood the comment section with all of your concerns, all of your questions. I'm here to address them now. Yes, drama, everything. All right? AC family, we're family here. So we could be mature, adults. Anyways, welcome guys to the channel. This here is the Ant Room. There's Pandora. I'll get to that in a second. So for those of you who have been following the Ecosystem Vivarium series, this is a series that I started in 2024 in December. Oh no, 2023, back in December. And we're going on 4 seasons now. Every episode is, every season is 15 episodes. And I also wanted to cover how exactly these episodes are made. Because I think some of you, oh no, timer has gone off, guys. It's nighttime here. I live on the other side of the world, living in Southeast Asia. Maybe I can manually turn that on just for this live. Usually at this time, lights turn off. Lights will turn off in Pandora in a sec as well. But anyways, I also wanted to go over how these are made, how I make these episodes, just so we're on the same page, because a lot of comments I'm reading are saying that I'm getting lazy, the episodes are getting shorter, quality is going down, it's not as exciting as before, and I'll address all of that in a sec. But first, let me go back here. Got to squeeze behind hydrometer here. Awesome, this is like behind the scenes, guys. And turn this light on. The light should be turned off at this time, but this is just for the live. I'll turn it back off when it's all done. All right, let's go up here into this right here. Did I do that right? There we go. All right, back in business. Guys, welcome. If you're just joining us to an Ants Canada Live, this is almost like a behind the scenes peek to all of you who supported the channel. First of all, I just wanted to thank all of you guys who've watched the channel. Honestly, I went back and I checked. This series has trended worldwide 12 times, which is crazy to me because I first started this channel way back in 2009. So that's almost 16 years of doing YouTube. And the fact that you guys still support like you do today, that means a lot to me, because that's kind of unheard of in the ecosystem history books. So I feel really grateful. Thank you. But yeah, let's have a peek here at hydrometa. So earlier I did see the new pufferfish, which I'll address first. They were around these rocks, but this is hydrometa. I'm just using my mobile right now, so I hope you guys can see. See that? So many fish. Lots of shrimp as well. Let's take a look here. Shrimp are always just everywhere. They're multiplying fast. I see a baby way down there. So let's address the pufferfish controversy. So I added pufferfish because I wanted them to deal with all of these little snails. You see that? See here? Now, one of the common comments about adding the pufferfish was that they would decimate the shrimp. But the pufferfish, if we see them in somewhere here, are really small, guys. They're about as small as these ember tetras. They're tiny, and they take a while to grow, so they cannot eat the shrimp yet. And then if you recall in the episode where I added these shrimp, the whole point of the shrimp were for them to be prey insects, be prey crustaceans, invertebrates. So my vision for them was to be like crickets and the cockroaches of Pandora and Orchidia. So, I mean, the whole point is for them to be eaten, guys. That is how these Vivaria are different from, say, a pet aquarium where you don't want things to eat other things. So I wanted to address that and remind people that this is supposed to be an ecosystem. Things are supposed to eat other things. And by the time those pufferfish are big enough to eat the shrimp, sure, they will eat the shrimp, but so will all of these plants. They will all be large. And the shrimp already are hiding in all the little crevices of the driftwood. So that's kind of the point, guys. Some of you mentioned that the pufferfish had ick, which is this, it's like a white film that covers the fish. Well, the ick is gone. I think they just needed better water quality. And if you look at the fish here, the ick did not transfer to my tetras. The tetras are perfectly healthy. There's a lot of them. I haven't really filmed a lot of the microscopic life in this tank, but there are. I see a lot of Daphnia. There's a lot of ostracods in here. So the ecosystem is developing really, really well. Some of you addressed that I haven't added anything to the land portion yet, except for, I mean, there were fire ants in here that like crawled into the tank. I don't see them anymore. Maybe they died, not sure. A lot of you were unhappy with the death of Draco, which was a flying dragon that I randomly found in here one day. Conspiracy theorists said that I had planted that lizard in here, which is so not true. Let's address the fake drama that I often get accused of in this series. I do not fake anything. The only thing that I have to re-dramatize and refilm, or reenact rather, is, you know, the acting scenes, which kind of irk a lot of you people, but I put it in there because I enjoy the storytelling aspect, and film and acting is one of my favorite things to do. So I like to act out certain dramatic scenes just to aid in the storytelling. That's the only thing. But do you guys remember, here's Pandora. You'll see an update on Pandora in the next episode next weekend. I will cover all of Pandora. Do you guys remember the episode when I randomly came in here and saw this door wide open? That actually happened, guys. I was literally coming in here, saw it wide open, and I was like, okay, instead of panicking and shutting it right away, I want to film this because I could tell it to you guys in a story, but what am I going to show during that time when I tell you the story? So I took the few seconds, or few minutes, rather, like 2 minutes, that it took to set up my camera, act it out, bring this camera here, act out that shot, bring this camera here, act out that shot, and then shut it. Boom. I mean, it was like an extra maybe 3 or 4 minutes that it was open. If anything had escaped, it had already escaped. I forgot, I think it was like open for maybe 2 or 3 hours. And then I even showed you the CCTV footage of my little dog that had crawled back here and kind of jumped like to press this open. So I don't know, like nothing in this series, guys, is faked. To be honest, if you have tanks this big and you literally sit here for hours and hours every day watching for stories, you will find something. And that's what I did. When I first started this series, I would literally sit here for hours and hours throughout the day, and then nighttime shots, I would wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning and take my nighttime shots. It's a lot of work. So let's address how these episodes are done, to address all the comments saying that I'm lazy. So you guys might be surprised that I do all the videos myself. Just me, no team from beginning to end. So my schedule is Mondays, I have off. I use Mondays to decompress because the rest of the days are dedicated to creating these weekly episodes for you guys. Tuesdays, I start filming. So I come here in the morning, try to look around for certain stories that are happening. I'll have a look at Godzilla, who's right there. Oh, he did not like us coming so close. All right. And I will film with my camera, which is I use a macro lens. Where's my camera? I use a macro lens. I'll drag my camera. I only have one camera, so I have to manually change lenses if I want to go wide. I will look for certain scenes that happen. So imagine staring at this plot of earth for an hour. Just waiting. This is nature photography, guys. I sit here and I wait. I have snacks, sometimes listen to music, and I wait for something to crawl by. See? And even now, in just this time, I see nothing crawling by. But sometimes I do, and I catch it. And then I'll move to another plot of earth. See? And then I'll look up here. Usually I will see a lot of action up here. I'll usually see Snap up there. I'll take footage of him. You'll usually see ants crawling. Yeah, I see a ghost ant right now crawling on that vine. I'll take that footage. So I will just take a ton of like 15-second footages. A ton. With my camera. I'll dump the footage. And then I do that throughout the day. And then I'll wake up really early in the night, or I will film late at night, like at midnight, depending on my schedule. And do the same thing in the dark. Usually I have a spotlight to act like the moon. And then, so I'll do that for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, I go through all of my footage, which is usually a folder of over 200 video shots. I will label each shot manually as to what action is happening in those shots, and then I will try to reverse engineer a story. Now, this is the hard part, creating a story that keeps you guys interested and also is factual, so I have to also research my facts. I will create a story, so that takes me the whole day. It's usually a 7 to 12 page story. And then by Friday night, I record in my studio, which takes an hour. I'll read that story out loud into an audio file. And then all of Saturday from morning to night, and all of Sunday from morning till the last hour of upload, usually I'm finishing the video. And by the time you guys watch it at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I had just finished the video. Literally like minutes before. And sometimes I'm late by like a couple hours because I'm really scrambling to put everything together. So that's how these videos are made. It really takes 6 days or more. Sometimes I get awesome stories. Sometimes I can even have 2 stories intertwining and create an awesome like cinematic masterpiece. And then some weeks it's just, I don't really have anything. And I just have to report what's going on in the Vivaria. Like, these are not paid actors. I can't tell them, hey, I want you to eat this creature so that it's part of the story and would make awesome cinema. You know, that's not exactly how it works. If things die, I report it. If things break into the tanks, I report it. People were accusing me of literally putting fire ants into the tank. Guys, I showed you footage of the ants trailing down here. Like how? How can I direct ants to crawl up here? It's impossible. I'm not the ant whisperer. So I wanted to address that. The fake eggs. Okay, here's another one. Fake egg story. That was all factual. I found an egg in my yard. Okay, let me just go over where I live, guys. Let's see if I can open this window. So in case you don't know, I live in the tropics. See that? Jungle. We have cobras, we have reticulated pythons, monitor lizards, all kinds of wildlife that live out there. They even kill my chickens. Whatever's in the forest has begun to creep in and kill my chickens now. Anyways, called me, I went out there and I was like, oh my God, it really is an egg. Picked it up, brought it in, put it in a little container, and then asked my reptile friends, what is this? Because it had to be reptilian. There was no way this thing, like it had a leathery shell. It didn't really look like a bird egg. Although we do have ground birds here. But it was reptilian. So you guys saw that episode. There were several, I guess, conclusions. Some people said it was a cobra. Some people said it was a monitor lizard. Others said it was a reticulated python. And others still said that it was a sailfin dragon. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't exactly know what it is. I tried incubating it and then it kind of died. It like shriveled. I thought it died. It like shriveled up and like discolored. So I'm like, okay, it's dead. And then I decided, hey, instead of throwing this egg away, let's like use its nutrients. Because I will sometimes gather the poop of my guinea pigs and add it to the soil so that the plants kind of explode, as you can see. I mean, look at this giant pothos. The soil quality here in Pandora is awesome. It's like jungle soil. So instead of throwing that egg away, I decided to add its nutrients to the soil. Checked it a few episodes later, and it was like fat. It was no longer shriveled. So I figured, maybe this thing's alive. But you know what? I'm gonna film it. It was part of the story. And I know it frustrated a lot of viewers because one, some of you guys thought the whole thing was fabricated, which it wasn't, because I could have come up with way more intriguing stories than this friggin' egg that was also frustrating me. And I mean, I genuinely wanted to know what was in that egg. If whatever was in that egg had hatched, I would eventually see it crawling through Pandora, and I would have filmed it. Again, and then there was the whole dangerous element of it because more and more people started saying it was a cobra egg, and that scared me because if there was a cobra in here, there's no way I would be trying to touch it or anything like that. I would have to call in an expert to bring the cobra out. So anyways, turns out the egg ended up shriveling up, and I believe the shell is still... Do you see the shell? It's still there. So yeah, again, nothing is faked. Now I wanted to address Orcadia. Some of you guys were saying, Orcadia is the forgotten child. I can't exactly go up there because as soon as I do, this live will cut off. It's not forgotten child. I visit all my tanks and all my ant farms every day. Just because I don't show it on the channel, it doesn't mean that I'm not there taking care of these animals. I'm always here in my ant room every single day. This is my man cave. I just choose to not document everything on video. And why do I do this? Well, because I've discovered over the years, if you're going to make your passion into your hobby, if you're going to make your hobby or passion into your work and career, you need to have moments where you are doing your hobby just for yourself and not for work. Do you understand? That way, your hobby doesn't lose its spirit. And I find that has helped me remain, a passionate ant keeper when I don't have to create focused ant videos because I can just keep this to myself. I can come here and enjoy it myself and not have to worry about, okay, I gotta light it properly, this camera has to be there, all right, let's get this angle now. All right, let's get this angle. Oh, and I know what I'm gonna say at this part of the story. So, it really allows me to be an ant keeper and not a YouTuber who films ants. You know what I'm saying? So when I don't report on Pandora in Orcadia, I'm usually taking care of these Vivaria, but not filming. Does that make sense? So, what else did I want to address? There was so much. Oh, yes, AI thumbnails. So, there was a big uproar when I started using AI for thumbnails. I started doing that because I noticed other YouTubers were using AI and they were getting some pretty good views. So, we YouTubers have an A/B testing where we can choose to use several thumbnails and then YouTube will figure out which thumbnail does the best. And when I do that, turns out the AI thumbnails do the best. So I did that for 2 videos and it caused an uproar. I'm not gonna do it again. I will try my best to take actual photos, but it is just funny how somehow you guys seem to see my videos among a sea of videos when my thumbnails they pop because of AI imagery. So that's why. I'm, again, sorry for those of you who are upset that I used AI. I'm going to try to actually use photos again. But just so you know, anytime you guys see my video and you don't click on it, YouTube records that. And then it serves my videos less and less to my own audience, to you guys who have subscribed to me. So of course, I'm going to do my best to stand out amongst a sea of thumbnails so that I can be like, hi guys, for those of you who subscribe to my ecosystem series, I still exist and there's a new video up. Check this out. Obviously, there's no AI in the video. It's all filmed live. It was just the thumbnail that's used to kind of like get your attention. And the same thing goes with titles. Obviously, people are like, oh, you're so clickbaity. Well, I wish I didn't have to be, but in this game, you need to be able to sell each video. And then once you guys do watch the videos, a lot of you are like, hey, this was actually a cool video. Do you know what I mean? It's weird dynamics on YouTube. So just so you know, I don't do it to fool you guys or anything like that. These are just ways that I can get your attention amongst a sea of content and be like, look at what I've been working on all week, busting my butt, to show you nature. Now, I wanted to also address the cave issue. I'm working on a cave tunnel. Some of you guys misunderstood and thought I was making another huge vivarium for a cave, but no. If you've been following the series, the cave vivarium is just the tunnel, the Great Connection event that will join Pandora with Hydromeda. So all these creatures will get to enjoy Hydromeda as well. I posted this week that I'd be working on it. Now, it takes several weeks to build this. So it won't be for another week or possibly a month until this is done. And I can start adding like cave creatures inside, if ever. But I'm starting now. Like, as you know, this takes months of planning before it's even at the building stage. So yeah, there were a lot of comments saying, oh, Orcadia doesn't have an ecosystem yet. Hydromeda is not fully an ecosystem yet. Why are you starting on working a cave? Well, because I'm thinking ahead. I'm working ahead because this takes a lot of groundwork. In terms of Hydromeda, ecosystem is developing, but it is taking longer because of the fact that it's water. Some of you guys have mentioned this is just a glorified tank. Well, it's not, because things are already eating each other. And second of all, if I want this to be sustainable, I have to add in the creatures slowly. It's not like a terrarium where you can just add everything in one fell swoop. Here, you kind of have to let the tank cycle, and usually it takes months for the beneficial bacteria to develop. And so I'm adding creatures in very, very slowly. I need to. Because there were a lot of plants, that actually helped with dealing with ammonia spikes. So nothing has really died, thankfully. But yeah, so that's why it's taking so long for this to really become a true ecosystem. It's just with tanks, you have to take your time. I'm not a new tank owner. I've been keeping tanks since the 90s. I've been keeping creatures and terrariums since the 90s. So if you do your math, that's many, many years under my belt. I often get a lot of people who keep these animals that I'm keeping, leaving long paragraphs about husbandry, and I appreciate that. But a lot of that stuff is stuff that I already know and have thought about months before I've even presented it to you. And there is a lot of work that goes into this before it actually manifests. So just so you know, like I'm not just any creator who just woke up one morning and was like, hey, let's build a giant tank and throw a bunch of creatures in and see what happens in the ecosystem. That is not how this project works. It's not who I am as a caregiver for animals. Aside from all these animals here, I have a bunch of farm animals on a lot over there. I have an aviary in the middle of my home taking care of a ton of birds. I don't really vlog them. I do that for fun. Of course, I've got my ants. So here we have Carabera diversa. I don't know if you guys can see them. They're right there. These are the leviathans. They just discovered their new chicken leg. This is still thawing, but see, they're gonna start to come out of the mouth by morning. This is cold still, so, oh no, they're actually coming out now. And then over here, we have, obviously, the fire ants. You guys saw them in 2 episodes ago. They're here. I've got a whole bunch of other creatures over here. I've got a frog over there, Jabba the Hutt. Have had him for, I think, 9 years now. I'm thinking of actually adding him to Hydromeda at some point. I've got chicken eggs here, incubating. What else? I've got a sugar glider over here. So just because you don't see them on the channel, it doesn't mean they're dead. I'm constantly taking care of animals. Animals are my life. And then aside from that, for those of you who follow me on my other social media accounts, I'm a singer and an actor and a whole bunch of other things, a vlogger. So I actually handle 2 other channels and a whole other career. So Ants Canada is just one of the many things I do. And then on top of that, I have the Ants Canada Ant Store, antscanada.com, which I also run. That's another arm of the business that I also do. So whenever I see these comments saying that I'm lazy and that I'm a lazy creator, I can't help but laugh because these people don't know the amount of work that goes into some of the things that I do. So I just wanted to address that this week. And I hope you guys can share this in all of the, like some people were mentioning, there were Reddits about me and all of this, which is fine. I mean, it's all part of being a YouTuber. And, you know, being bashed and canceled is all part of being a YouTuber. I'm used to that. It's happened for years. But in my position, because I care about my community, I wanted to let you guys know from my side, officially, in a live, non-rehearsed, how things are. Does that make sense, guys? All right, what do you guys want to see here? So we have Godzilla, who's really large. I'm going to relocate him soon. See how big he is? Oh, he's shy. Very healthy. A lot of you guys, some experts said that he would not survive here, but he's grown. He's grown almost twice the size. He's done excellent in this tank, although he's strong enough now to move rocks. He's completely moved all of these rocks, and he's like brought certain pieces of decor and ripped them off. So, you know, it's going to be time for him to be moved soon. And then once he's moved, I have plans of adding other creatures inside that I couldn't add because he was here. I also want to add a mammal up there in Orcadia in this season that will be coming up. Snip, one of you guys mentioned Snip. I have not seen Snip. I think Godzilla ate Snip. And I mean, I couldn't film it. It obviously happened when I was sleeping, maybe, or when I wasn't here. But Snap is still in here. I just saw Snap the other day. Some of you guys were asking about the termites. I see termite hills. Do you see that? Like bulbous piece of earth back there? There are still termites in here, but I don't know how long it takes them to get big enough to start creating big mounds, and then that produce the mushrooms that I'm hoping to culture. Yes, some of you guys saying, I don't want Godzilla to be canceled. Yeah, I don't either. I love Godzilla. He's such a magnificent creature, and I do not regret keeping him here. How is Valentino? Valentino's great. Do you see him? He's way up there. There he is. Valentino is my 10-year-old snake. He's great. All right. So, don't explain yourself. I know, I usually don't explain myself. But you know what? Also, I realize that I have a lot of kids on this channel and young adults, like teens. And I feel they also need to be addressed. And they need to understand that, you know, as you get older, the world isn't what it seems like that you thought it was as a teen. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't know happens. So I want like the young people of the younger AC family to understand that like creating these videos is a lot of work. It is. So before you take to your keyboards and start bashing your favorite YouTubers or least favorite YouTubers, kind of consider what they're going through and that they're actual people. Show your singing skills. No, you're just gonna have to do some hunting. I do have a single coming out called Cancel Me, April 22. Maybe I'll let you guys know about it, or I'll use it in an episode. Any other questions, guys? Before I go. Sugar glider, yes. Okay, some of you guys. I have 3 shuggies here. Okay, they're all in there. Oh no, there's one. Hi there. This is Honey. Do you hear them? They make this weird goblin noise. Hi. Hi, Honey. Yes. They're cute, right? Mm-hmm. She's looking for superworms. We gave them superworms already. So in case you're also wondering how I managed to take care of all of these animals, I don't know, I have to do a count. I've got somewhere around 50 or more animals. I've got iguanas also. I have a very, very good team of people who help me with maintenance. Not the Vivaria. The vivariums kind of maintain themselves, as you can see, like it's so overgrown and things feed themselves in the Vivaria. Not so much the hydromeda because I still need to feed the fish. But here, everything feeds itself, so it's very low maintenance. But the ants they need to be fed. The sugar gliders need to be fed. So I have a lot of really good help. And the animals under my care, as you guys know, I mean, I do rescuing and adopting. Like people who can't keep animals anymore, I'll take them in if we can take care of them. I recently adopted a street cat, like things like that. And I have a great animal-loving team who help me take care of all of these animals. How does the aviary look? Okay, well, I'm gonna go out there and it's nighttime, so I don't know if you guys will see. And I hope it doesn't cut off. This is my aviary. See? But you can't see it right now because they're spoiled. What plants do you have for hydromeda? So that's a good question. Got a lot of bromeliads, so a lot of epiphytes, because this piece of wood only has pockets of soil. So we've got nerve plants in the soil, various ferns. We've got Ficus pumila back there. See that? And some new plants have actually begun to grow. Like, see, if you look there, there's some pilia, there's some hydrocotyl, tripartita. We got some clovers randomly growing there. A lot of these plants that grew up in the moss, I did not plant. They just kind of sprouted. It's really cool. How are the puffers? Okay, wait. I just saw them earlier today. The puffers are good. I have 2 of them. But they're still tiny. They're still the same size. So they're managing to eat like soft-bodied creatures, and I guess like some of the snails. But I still have a ton of these snails. The pest snails. Anyway, this video is going on so long now. Any other questions? Maybe a small freshwater eel. Now, that's a thing. Here's the thing, guys. I do want to add some kind of larger fish that will be large enough to eat even the adult shrimp. I was thinking possibly angelfish, but I definitely can't do something like piranhas or Oscars. I can't exactly do that. They would eat everything. It would be like adding Godzilla into here. Now, I was initially thinking to add Godzilla into here, but I don't know if you guys agree with me. I think that would be just total chaos. He would eat all the fish, and this ecosystem would collapse. Crabs, yes, I could definitely add crabs here. I also was thinking possibly dart frogs here. Although dart frogs don't really swim. They're not a swimming type of frog, but they can live on this land area. I have to think about it. But if not, I will add Jabba the Hutt somewhere here. And he'll just park himself somewhere on the land. And Jabba can swim. All right, guys, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. Again, always remember, I'm doing my very best to deliver you the best nature content on YouTube because I miss the old school documentaries, animal shows and animal documentaries. They just don't do them like they used to. So that's why I started this whole series and this channel really, was because I wanted to bring that kind of nature storytelling back. I think there's a big lack of it. You know, bringing cinema back into the nature storytelling. And so, again, I'm doing my best to give you guys top-notch videos, and it's really showing because 2 videos ago, we were trending again at number 7 worldwide, and I'm just honored. This is fun for me. I'll be doing this even if I don't do YouTube. And it just is such an honor that you guys also enjoy this nerdy hobby that I do. So, guys, I will see you in the next episode next week. Promise to do my best to take all of your criticisms to heart and do better. All right, guys? Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.